it's actually not a very good idea. It's a look before you leap situation, isn't it?
I think very much so, but unfortunately that's...
For the 2027 Invictus Games, which could see a long-awaited reunion for the Duke of Sussex and his family. It's been reported that
something absolutely seismic has just shaken the royal world. No, this time it's not about Meghan's glitzy Hollywood deals, not about designer dresses or staged red carpets. Forget all that fluff. What's erupting right now is darker, more explosive, the kind of thing that could blow the very foundation of the monarchy to pieces. And at the center of this royal earthquake, none other than Prince Harry himself.
Something compelling about hearing all this nastiness between, you just want to know, you want to hear about it. You can't believe it. You can't believe what he's saying. You can't believe the lies he's telling. And you're fascinated by it, where the
explosive new evidence is emerging, and trust me, it's radioactive. We're talking about revelations so damning they threaten to rip apart everything Harry and Meghan have carefully constructed around their children, their image, their so-called fairy tale. And the epicenter of this firestorm, Angela Levin. Yes, the seasoned royal biographer who never minces words.
I don't know what on earth she's talking about. And also the fact that they couldn't wait another day and have it on Sunday rather.
Angela, known for slicing through royal spin like a hot knife through butter, went live on national television and delivered a bombshell so sharp it sent shockwaves from Buckingham Palace straight across the Atlantic to Harry and Meghan's gilded gates in Montecito. She didn't sugarcoat it. She didn't hedge. She didn't bow to the usual deference the press showers the Sussexes with. No, she went straight in, scalpels out, slicing into the very thing millions had whispered in private but never dared to say out loud.
Continued to do that without any gratitude. There was no gratitude. Meghan wouldn't be known for anything if she hadn't.
There may be serious unresolved questions about Archie and Lilibet's legitimacy. That's what she said. Can you imagine? She cut right to the heart of it, the one thing Harry and Meghan have fought like cornered animals to keep buried. And let's be real, for a family that thrives on image, bloodline, and ancient ceremony, those are the deadliest words in the Royal Dictionary. Questions about legitimacy aren't gossip, they're dynamite. This isn't just some petty squabble over whether Meghan snubbed Kate at the coronation or which label she wore on the red carpet. No, this is about lineage, bloodline, the sacred thread that's held monarch after monarch together for centuries. Angela's calm, cutting delivery only made the revelation more devastating. She didn't rant, she didn't shout, she just asked the question no one else dared. Why have Harry and Meghan ignored every single traditional royal birth protocol? Where were the photos on the hospital steps, the proud moment every royal mother before Meghan had honored? Where were the signed medical bulletins from the attending physicians? Where was the transparent timeline, the official witnesses, the clear proof these royal births happened as the palace claimed?
Working mums. Those women out there who sacrifice it all, day in, day out, against all the odds.
Instead, what did the world get? Grainy, heavily controlled photos where baby bumps seem to appear and vanish like props in a Hollywood movie, conflicting stories about birth locations, timelines that shifted like quicksand, and a deafening silence where clarity should have been. Angela's words cut deep. In centuries of royal history, every birth has been documented with crystal clarity. Yet suddenly, for the first time, that tradition vanished. Why? The studio went dead silent. Social media did the exact opposite. It erupted. Twitter threads, TikTok videos, Instagram reels, everywhere you looked, people were dissecting Angela's question like detectives at a crime scene. And how did Harry respond? Like the soldier he once was? Like the calm, stoic prince the world once adored? Oh no, he went nuclear. Instead of offering the one simple piece of evidence that could silence the whispers forever, hospital records, medical proof, anything, Harry did what Harry now does best. He threatened to sue. Within hours, reports say his legal team was firing off cease and desist letters like confetti at a royal wedding, accusing Angela of defamation and threatening swift retribution. But here's the cruel twist. Legal threats don't kill rumors. They feed them. The moment Harry's lawyers entered the battlefield, public opinion didn't lean towards sympathy. It tilted towards suspicion. People weren't thinking, poor Harry protecting his family. They were whispering, what's he hiding? Because here's the truth. When someone has nothing to hide, they don't send in the lawyers, they send proof. And that's the one thing Harry and Meghan have refused to provide for 5 long years. And where was Meghan, the bold strategist, the so-called warrior queen? Silent, absent. While Harry flailed and fumed like a cornered animal, Meghan stayed in the shadows, calm, calculating, letting him take the hits while she quietly observed. To the public, it didn't look like partnership. It looked like abandonment. For years, Meghan has played the chess master while Harry has been her pawn. But this battlefield isn't about PR. It's about legal wars, centuries-old protocols, and legitimacy itself. And Harry looked hopelessly outmatched.
So at the time, Archie Mountbatten Windsor was born May 6, 2019. And this was surrounded by controversy, largely to the unconventional decisions Prince Harry.
And the public? Oh, they see it. Even royal insiders who once shielded Harry are muttering the same thing. If they have nothing to hide, why don't they just prove it? Because here's what Harry and Meghan seem to forget. The monarchy isn't a lifestyle brand, it's not a Netflix series, and it's definitely not some polished Instagram grid. It's a constitutional institution built entirely on legitimacy. Absolute certainty of bloodline. If that certainty even cracks a little, the entire palace shakes. That's why, as Angela pointed out, royal births have always been treated with military-level precision. Witness deliveries, signed medical bulletins, immediate palace announcements, and of course those iconic hospital steps photos showing mother and child wrapped in history as much as blankets. Meghan skipped all of it, every single step. At first, people gave her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she wanted privacy, maybe she didn't want her child thrust under the glare of flashbulbs. But privacy doesn't mean erasing every scrap of evidence. Privacy doesn't mean conflicting stories, secret christenings, no proper birth certificates, and staged photo ops that looked more like a Vogue spread than a royal moment. Privacy protects, secrecy deceives, and secrecy always breeds suspicion.
Focused on healthcare for women and children. Other royals have been born.
And now, thanks to Angela Levin's bombshell, those suspicions aren't whispers in dark corners of the internet anymore. They've exploded into the mainstream. Constitutional lawyers are even circling, asking the unthinkable if surrogacy or adoption were involved. Could Archie and Lilibet legally remain in the line of succession at all? Let that sink in. This isn't tabloid gossip anymore. It's a potential constitutional crisis. If the palace can't prove with legal certainty that Archie and Lilibet are Harry's biological children, and specifically born of Meghan as royal succession law demands, their royal standing could vanish overnight, evaporate like smoke. That's why Harry is unraveling. That's why his rage feels feral, unhinged. He isn't just fighting for his kids, he's fighting for his entire identity, the fragile empire he and Meghan built on their royal ties. And yet, every lawsuit threat, every angry outburst only makes him look guiltier. The more he fights, the more Angela's calm suggestion resonates. Maybe, just maybe, the Sussex fairy tale was a lie all along. Angela knew exactly what she was doing. With that grandmotherly smile plastered on her face, she leaned forward on live TV and dropped another bomb, naming the very law firm she claimed was quietly handling Harry's secret legal crusade. The audience gasped, and across Britain, living rooms fell silent. Within minutes, Twitter was ablaze. Hashtags like hashtag Harry lawsuit scandal and hashtag Angela exposes Harry shot up the trending list. Clips of Angela's comments went viral, snipped and shared like wildfire. One slowed-down video even caught a tiny smirk tugging at her lips when she said, "He's trying to rewrite the narrative through the courts again." And here's where the story detonated. Angela claimed Harry's lawsuit wasn't just some minor defamation case. It allegedly involved him trying to suppress damaging internal communications that could, in her words, fundamentally challenge his version of history. That single sentence hit like a thunderclap. Because if true, Harry wasn't suing to protect his reputation. He was suing to bury evidence. And nothing fuels scandal more than the suggestion of a royal cover-up. Suddenly, palace insiders began whispering. One told The Telegraph, "It's extraordinary. He spent years demanding transparency, and now he's allegedly doing the opposite when it suits him." Another flat out called it a desperate bid to erase the past. The tension reached a fever pitch when Angela made her boldest move yet. On live radio, she hinted that if courts ruled against Harry in his secret lawsuit, the fallout could involve revelations about his children's titles and their legal standing. The internet erupted. Headlines screamed, "Angela Levin hints children could be dragged into lawsuit scandal." Within minutes, Meghan reportedly lost it, throwing her phone across the room, ordering lawyers to destroy Angela by any means necessary. But the lawyers warned her. Suing Angela would backfire, forcing those claims into sworn evidence. It was checkmate. Angela had trapped them, and the only way out was through. And then, the silence from Buckingham Palace, not one word, no statement, no denial, no olive branch. Sources whispered that Charles and William had agreed they wouldn't intervene. One palace aide summed it up chillingly, "He made this mess. Let him clean it up." that cut deeper than anything Angela had said. For all his defiance, Harry still craved the royal safety net, and now it was gone. Public opinion turned savage. Comment sections overflowed with, "He left to escape drama and now he's drowning in it." Former fans quietly unfollowed. Influencers posted cryptic quotes about accountability that everyone knew were aimed at him. It was a slow, public, social death. Harry lashed out. He reportedly ordered his lawyers to launch a scorched earth reputation lawsuit, not just against Angela, but multiple outlets repeating her claims. He wanted injunctions, damages, total war. But here's the irony. Filing that kind of lawsuit would require disclosure of private documents, internal communications, financials, legal filings. In other words, the very secrets Angela hinted at. His lawyers begged him not to. One warned, if this goes to court, everything comes out. Everything. But Harry wanted revenge, not reason. But here's the cruel twist. Angela had already won. While Harry spiraled, Angela's book sales skyrocketed. Her following exploded. She became the most in-demand royal commentator in the world, commanding primetime interviews and six-figure deals. Harry, meanwhile, was left with scorched earth, fractured friendships, an imploding reputation, and legal wars he couldn't win without detonating his own secrets. The irony? As Harry prepared to finally file that scorched earth lawsuit, Angela hinted she might soon reveal the very documents he'd fought so desperately to hide. And if she does, it won't just ruin Harry's reputation, it could erase his family's place in the monarchy forever. Angela's revelations didn't just dent his image, they cracked the vault he'd spent years sealing shut. The lawsuits he once bragged about now looked like desperate smokescreens. The image of the wounded hero collapsed like a castle built on sand. Back in Montecito, the mood was said to be feral. Harry pacing like a caged lion, Meghan whispering about the brand, the staff walking on eggshells. But Buckingham Palace? Reportedly toasting in private. William allegedly joked he built a bonfire of lawsuits and then poured petrol on himself. Savage. The British press had a field day. Headlines screamed royal hypocrisy exposed and Levin lowers the boom. Social media piled on with sarcastic hashtags like Sue Meghan. Even sympathetic outlets turned on him. Angela had done what no tabloid, no Netflix documentary, no palace leak had ever done. She shattered the illusion. And as the dust settled, the once golden prince stood alone, exposed, silent. And just when the world thought it couldn't get worse, Angela smiled into the camera and said, "And this is just the beginning."